Hello there, my friends. Welcome back. So glad you are here on my channel. I feel like I need to say, like, the Gavin Fish show. I don't even know. I don't even know. Feels kind of weird, though, saying, my name's Gavin. This is my show. I don't know. It's my channel, right? Thank you very much for being here. Hey, did you guys know that baby Gavin is missing? Baby Gavin is missing, but he's a wily little sucker. He has left clues for you to follow to find him. There are 20 clues, and it's a fun little game that you can come and play. I think the last time I looked at it, 19 people had finished it. We got one guy or one gal, somebody real close to being finished to round out the top 20. If you think that could be you, please go and play the Great 2025 Baby Gavin Treasure Hunt. It's just for fun. It's just for fun. We don't want to just be wallowing in all this horrific news about terrible things that are happening to people around us. Sometimes we just need a break, and that's what this is all about. Also, please join us over there on the fish tank. We've got, last time I checked, 5150. That's how many people are in the tank, which is, I don't know, apropos, kind of fun. So join us in the tank. Join us for the hunt. Thank you very much for being here. Guys, there has been a terrible crime that has been committed down in Tennessee. I want to start. We're going to get to the press conference here. I want to give you a heads up that the video quality on the press conference is horrible. The audio quality isn't much better, but we're gonna watch it together. Before we do, let's just catch up on this real quick, okay? Join me over here. Man at large after allegedly killing 4 family members. And I believe I've got all of their pictures named. We've got 38-year-old Courtney Rose. Her daughter, Adriana Williams, 20 years old. Adriana's boyfriend, Matthew Wilson. And Courtney's 15-year-old Braden Williams are all dead. And yeah, it just started so strange. Now, they're looking for a man. This man is Austin Robert Drummond. This is a recent mugshot. Here is another mugshot of Mr. Drummond. They say that the victims knew this man. Here, he was 28 years old. Here's another picture of Mr. Drummond. Yeah. Okay. So let's read this real quick. A manhunt is underway for a 29-year-old man who allegedly killed 4 people and left their baby alive, Tennessee authorities said. Austin Robert Drummond is considered armed and dangerous, following the killings of 38-year-old Courtney Rose, Rose's children, 20-year-old Adriana Williams and 15-year-old Braden Williams, and Adriana Williams' boyfriend, 21-year-old James Michael Wilson. I said Matthew. It's Michael. Sorry about that. According to authorities and family, the victims were killed on Tuesday and found along a road in Lake County in northwest Tennessee near the state's border with Arkansas, Missouri, and Kentucky, authorities said. You know what I didn't do? We gotta channel our inner Gisela, right? Let's go to maps. And we're looking for Lake County, Tennessee. Yeah, okay, so this is Lake County in the yellow area here. Hopefully you guys can see that better than me. I've got a severe color deficiency. But yeah, right up there in the corner where Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, and Kentucky all come together. That is where we're talking about here in the United States. Okay, getting back over here. The same day Wilson and Williams' baby was left in a car seat in a random individual's front yard in nearby Dyer County, according to the Dyer County Sheriff's Office and Danny Goodman, District Attorney for Dyer and Lake Counties. The infant was treated by paramedics and is now safe and being cared for, authorities said. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said the killings were not random Investigators believe that Drummond knew the victims, Goodman said. Drummond is wanted on 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm, and 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony, the TBI said, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. While this is an extremely tragic and violent event, said TBI on social media, there was a sign of compassion that tells us there's a possibility that Austin may have a sense that there's hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened. TBI Director David Roush said authorities believe Drummond is still in the area. Drummond's white 2016 Audi has been found in Jackson, Tennessee, and Drummond has ties to Jackson, officials said. Goodman said, and get this, Drummond had been out on bond for an attempted murder charge, which stemmed from an alleged incident while he was in prison for attempted robbery. Now, this is a real winner here. Authorities urge anyone with information to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Let's remember who our victims are: Courtney Rose, Adriana Williams, and Michael Wilson. Now I'm second guessing myself because I put Matthew there. It's Michael and Braden Williams. I'm going to update my notes here. Okay, now there was a press conference that happened just a few hours ago. It wasn't covered much because it's such terrible quality, but we're just going to be forgiving of that, do our best to watch it and learn something from it. So let's just go ahead and begin. Here we go.
Attorney General Danny Goodman, U.S. Marshal, Western District of Tennessee, Tyrese Miller. Stephen Sutton is here to speak on behalf of Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery and Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Box. And we also we'll hear from Deputy Chief Derek Tisdale with the Jackson Police Department. First, we're going to have Director Roush come and speak with you and give you some updated information on the investigation.
Thank you, Kim. And thank you all for being here with us this afternoon. Let me begin by expressing our condolences.
Just want to reiterate that the video and audio, that is how it came out. And I think that's why very few networks carried it.
Victims: James M. Wilson, Adriana Williams, Courtney Rose, and Braden Williams. We at the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, along with all of the law enforcement organizations there, have been working this case, understand the profound impact that this crime has had on the Lake and Dyer communities. This tragic, violent, and heartbreaking event that happened
Somebody's
on Tuesday
phone's ringing.
Has shocked this community, has certainly concerned neighbors, and with the type of crime has people scared in their homes. Tragically, this incident has this community on edge. I can assure you that state, local, federal agencies have been working around the clock since Tuesday when we were notified of this incident, that we are working to determine all the facts of the case and to bring the identified individual, Austin Robert Drummond, and to determine what he may know about this tragic incident.
All started finding
investigation began at the request
baby
of 29th District Attorney General Danny Goodman. I can tell you that our authorities, local, state, and federal, have been working on this since we got this call. The last confirmed sighting of the individual who is the suspect in this case at this time and is now wanted was on Wednesday in Jackson. The victims were discovered on Tuesday, July 29th, in a wooded area along Carrington Road in Tiptonville. Based on what we know at this time, we do not believe that this was a random act of violence. It appears, with all the information that we have, is that this was a targeted incident. This is why I think it's critical for us to reach out and appeal to Austin and those who may be assisting him to turn himself in, or for them to call us and let us know where he is so that we can bring him in to question him about what took place. We know, frankly, that based on information of the incident, that while this was an extremely tragic and violent event, that there was a sign of compassion, if you will, that we know happened, that tells us that there's a possibility that Austin may have a sense that that there is hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened. And because of that, we're asking him to give us a call. Let us pick you up or bring yourself in. Find a legal representative and come by and sit down about what happened. We recently have discovered the vehicle that he was last seen in. The information has now been put out to the public in the area where it was discovered. Last seen driving a white 2016 Audi A3 and that had damage on the vehicle. That vehicle was recently discovered on the dead end of MCO Road. That's Mike Charlie Oscar Road here in Jackson. Law enforcement has put out a notification to those in that area to lock their doors and be alert. And they will notice a large police presence in that area, and for them to stay aware and stay safe and to call immediately to 911 if they see this subject or if they see anything challenging or concerning.
So it looks like Jackson is a little more into central, north to south anyway, Tennessee, still in western Tennessee, but inside that, or way inside the corner where the bodies were found.
There have been charges filed through the Attorney General's, through the District Attorney General's office. 28-year-old Austin Robert Drummond has warrants for 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, dangerous felony, and he is considered armed and dangerous. This is why we're advising the public not to engage with him, to call us if you see him, if you have information about his whereabouts, to reach out through the 1-800-TBI Find line. We have also, in conjunction with the U.S. Marshals, put a $15,000 reward for information leading to his arrest and conviction. And so we ask those who may know something about this case to please reach out and call law enforcement. I do want to thank our partners. This has been an absolutely difficult few days here in the area, Lake and Dyer and here in Jackson. It's been a difficult few days, and I want to thank our partners. There has been an amazing response from many authorities in this, and I'll mention a few. This is not a comprehensive list, but there are a few that I want to mention and thank for their dogged determination in this investigation. It includes our folks with Lake County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Avery, Dyer County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Box, the Crockett County Sheriff's Office, Dyersburg PD, Tiptonville PD, of course Jackson PD. Also on the state side, we've had TWRA, the Highway Patrol, State Parks, and of course the District Attorney's Office from the 29th. On the federal side, we've had the United States Marshal Service, Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force working closely with us, as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Again, I think it's critical that the public know that, one, this is not a random act. And so I think if there's any solace in that, there should be, that it was not random. And frankly, an act that this individual that we believe is of interest and certainly have charges on. There was an act after the event that we believe shows some humanity, and so we're appealing to that piece, as inhumane as the situation is. But we're appealing to that within this individual to come to us and tell us what happened. Right? Let us work through this and figure out what happened so that we can bring some resolution to this.
I'm not optimistic that he'll turn himself in.
I want to thank all of the agencies involved in this effort, and really I'm extremely proud of our team here at TBI. They have been working around the clock, putting in every resource that we have to attempt to investigate this case, but also to bring resolution. And so with that, I will turn it over to General Goodman for his comments. General.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I don't have a lot to add, but I do have a few things that I would like to say. First of all, there can't be any more tragedy, anything more tragic to happen to a person than the loss of a family member. Unfortunately, we have, in this case, families who have lost multiple people, and so our heart goes out to the family. It goes out to the family that's going to be dealing with the child and raising a child that has lost both parents now. So our hearts go out to those individuals. I would like to thank the law enforcement. This has been nothing short of impressive. As Director Rouse said, they've worked 24 hours a day. I don't think I've ever been so impressed with the information has come in so rapidly in this case. It seems like just every 5 to 10 minutes there's new information coming in. So without this team, the tier, there's no way we would be where we are at this point. So I want to thank them for that. The other thing is we are dealing with an extremely violent individual.
Yeah.
This was what we would think is an isolated incident. It's not anything to where we think the community is in danger because of a person who may be out here randomly targeting people. We don't think that's the case at all. However, we do need the community to be very careful. We do not need
Cabling, I'm going to come back to this, okay? This is a good question.
them to try to approach this person. We do need your help, and we appreciate the media being here because there's a lot of things we couldn't do and information we couldn't get out without you. But we need the community as well. So if anyone does have any information, don't approach the individual. Just contact the TBI hotline, call 911. Not only is he known to be a violent offender because of this incident, he's been violent in the past. So we know that this is an individual.
Yeah, sorry about the audio, guys. That's the best we got.
And other than that, I'll take questions you have any, but I'll turn it over. Is someone else wants to speak? Yes, okay, all right.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the United States Marshal Service, I want to send our sincere condolences to the family of those affected. Again, such a tragic loss. I cannot imagine what they may be going through. And I'm a firm believer that the only way to achieve
I think that is correct, Sandy.
justice, if you will, is to hold someone accountable. And
Cooler,
that's why everybody. That's why we are assembled
Cooler by the Lake. I'm gonna get to this. Okay.
today. Everyone here, although we may wear different badges, different lapel pins, our agencies have different names. Some are federal, some are state, some are local. But let me assure you, we are unified in our efforts to find Austin Drummond. This individual has shown a propensity for violence, and he needs to be taken off the streets. We would like to do that peacefully. We would like for him to turn himself in. That way we can assure that he's taken into custody safely and that there's no injury to law enforcement or the public. But let me assure you of this, the U.S. Marshal Service will not stop until he's in custody. We have our whole team dedicated in prioritizing this incident, and it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when he's found. And it's not just here in West Tennessee, but we have support divisions at headquarters that are also assisting this effort. So, as you know, there's been a reward offered, and to those who may know where he is, we don't care about where he may be, other than you giving us the information, and you will get paid, no questions asked. So that is the priority, is for him to turn himself in. But if not, then that reward does stand, and we will gladly take him into custody. And again, I want to thank everybody involved. The TBI has done a phenomenal job, as always, with the investigation. The other law enforcement agencies that have been mentioned, everyone, we are unified in our efforts to find him. So again, I just want to thank you for being here today and helping us get this message out. Thank you.
That's a U.S. Marshal there. Really wish they had a better
Good afternoon,
connection.
everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Stephen Sutton, and I'm here today on behalf of Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery and Dyer County Sheriff Jeff Box to address two deeply troubling incidences that have recently affected our communities. This past Tuesday, we faced a heart-wrenching situation where an infant was found about 3:11 p.m. on Old Highway 20, abandoned in a car seat just off of Highway 412. It was immediately dropped off, and EMS was called to evaluate the baby. And I'm glad to report that thankfully the baby is safe and being cared for. And the Dyer County Sheriff's Office does have jurisdiction into the investigation regarding this abandoned child. In addition to the distressing scenario, we're also dealing with 4 tragic homicides that occurred in Lake County. And just as those before me have expressed, our hearts go out to all of those families and friends that have been deeply impacted with pain and grief of the actions that have occurred this week. Each life lost is truly a tragedy, and we extend our deepest sympathies to all of those who are grieving. And we want to assure you that we're doing everything in our power to uncover the truth and to provide answers. I want to take a moment to again express our gratitude to all of the law enforcement partners, state partners, federal, local, who have been tirelessly working around the clock to bring justice to these families. And their dedication and commitment during such challenging times surely are commendable. I must emphasize that our primary focus remains on locating Austin Drummond, who's still considered a suspect at large in these ongoing investigations. Finding him is our singular focus, and we urge anyone with any information regarding his whereabouts to please come forward. Your assistance is crucial in helping us bring closure to these families and restoring peace to our communities. We appreciate your cooperation. We appreciate your patience as this investigation unfolds. Thank you for your understanding as we navigate these sensitive matters, and we will keep you updated with any new developments as they arise. Thank you. Lake County Sheriff Brian Avery, Dyer County Sheriff.
Good afternoon. I'm Derek Tisdale with the Jackson Police Department, Deputy Chief of Police. First, on behalf of the Jackson Police Department and the citizens of this great city, Jackson, Tennessee, we want to express our sincere condolences for the family that has so tragically lost their loved ones. But what I want to speak to is what we're doing in this ongoing effort. In a collaborative effort, we are continuing to partner with the federal, state agencies and to bring about the safe apprehension of this individual, Mr. Drummond. We as a citizen as officers of the Jackson Police Department, we have officers that are dedicated as task force officers and working with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, also with the U.S. Marshal Services. We will continue to do that. We will also continue to bring forth any and all resources that we have that will assist the other agencies in bringing this to bear. What we want, or what I would want to encourage, is that our citizens be aware of your surroundings when you're in or out or around your places of residence. We want you to be mindful of what we're putting out. And
You know, in these little towns, well, in every town, there are little outbuildings, there are sheds, there are, places where you might store your lawnmower, your gardening equipment. You might have a lean-to of some sort for your firewood. Like my parents' house, they're in the middle of the suburbs, and yet they have a little structure for their firewood because they like to light fires around Christmas time, right? They like the ambiance. So I think what he's saying is like be aware of your surroundings. Do you have a camper on your property or an RV or anything of the sort? Just be aware of anything that looks out of the ordinary and report that to law enforcement. Yeah, and I think it's that's obviously terrific advice.
and be attentive to what we're putting out. Because not only are we trying to safely apprehend Mr. Drummond, but we also want to keep you safe. So on behalf of the Jackson Police Department, we will continue to partner with these agencies until this individual has been brought to justice. And if anybody sees this individual, again, I want to reemphasize what everybody else has said. Please call 911 or call the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Thank you.
All right, we will open it up to some questions now if you have
It's like
questions.
we've got about 10 or 12 minutes of questions, 8 minutes.
You talked about a sign of compassion that you all saw from Drummond. Is that him dropping off the baby?
Yeah, so what you're asking is when I mentioned a sign of compassion from the suspect, yes. So, they brought attention when they dropped the child off, brought attention. There were people nearby, and so brought attention to those people to come and get the child.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir.
Channel 3 in Memphis. So the outline or the
Let me just pause that for a second. Like that's really interesting what a person's personal ethics are. Like say Drummond is guilty of killing these 4 people like police say he is. I don't have any reason to doubt them. He killed a 38-year-old, a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 15-year-old, but apparently drew the line at a 8-month-old, 7-month-old, something like that. He had some sort, it sounds to me like anyway, he had some sort of personal boundary that he wouldn't cross. I don't know, that's just fascinating to me from a spectator's perspective, right? That's it's interesting to me anyway.
the lineup is that the baby was dropped off first before the homicide, or what is the timeline?
Yeah, so all of that is still under active investigation. You're asking about the timeline for the incidents. At this point, that is all actively being investigated.
And how about the scene on Carrington Drive? Did the suspect go separately? Was he with the other parties? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I won't go, but you're asking again about specifics of the crime scene itself. We won't go into detail on the specifics of the crime scene at this time. It's a very active and engaged.
Can you confirm at this time Austin Drummond's relationship with any of them? Were they family members or in a relationship? Can you confirm any of that at this time?
She's asking
I appreciate your asking.
if there was a relationship between Drummond and any of the family members of the victims, if you didn't catch that because of the audio that was recorded apparently in 1968. Here we go.
About the relationship of the suspect with the individual victims. There was a familial between the suspect and the family.
There was a familial relationship between the suspect and the family. Okay.
Caitlin speak at all?
Specifics into we won't go into the specifics of the
I
investigation.
didn't catch the question.
Brooklyn Channel 7 in Jackson, is he still in Jackson? Are we aware of that, or are we expecting him to?
Asking if they believe he's in
terms
Jackson.
of the location of the suspect at this time, we believe that the suspect is still in the area based on the potential information that we are working through. So
This was as of a few hours ago.
We believe that he is still in this area.
Imani again with Channel 5.
Again, this very few people covered this because of just the horrible connection. By the way, if it was recorded in 1968, it'd be analog. It would sound way better than this. Anyway, what was the question? The question was, what I was saying is this is only a few hours old. This information is only a few hours old. They believe he's probably still in Jackson, Tennessee.
We're in Jackson. We were in Dyer and Lake County earlier this week. Kind of talk a little bit about how important Jackson is to the investigation when it looks like he may be from Jackson.
Yeah, so in terms of the importance of Jackson to this investigation, obviously all of the area here, the Jackson, Lake, Dyer, this entire region, if you will, are critical in this investigation. Obviously, direct ties to the Jackson area, and that is why there is concern and focus. The vehicle being found here in Jackson certainly heightens that focus. So Jackson and the Jackson PD are critical partners as we continue to try to bring Austin in to be able to try to figure out the answers and resolve this.
Troy Grant again with Fox 13 Memphis. So do you guys believe Drummond had assistance in committing the crime, and do you think someone is helping him?
Asking if there's an accomplice.
Yeah, I hate not giving all the specific, but those questions that you're asking about if he was assisted and any, those are all details of the investigation that we won't get into at this time.
Channel 7 again. Is he on foot? Is he in another car? I know you said the car was found.
Yeah, Brooke, that in terms of is he on foot or if he's had another vehicle, those are all parts that we're still investigating.
You know,
Earlier, he was.
reporters still need to ask these questions, by the way. They seem like stupid questions. The reporters know that they're not going to get an answer to the question when they ask specifics like this, but they want to be able to say in their reporting that the police would not say whether Mr. Drummond was on foot or on another vehicle. You know, they want to be able to say that stuff. And that's why sometimes it feels like they're stupid questions. They're not stupid reporters. They just need to be able to say certain things, and so they ask questions that they know they won't get the answer to.
Incarcerated. Were those charges aggravated robbery, aggravated kidnapping? Can you talk to that a little bit?
I'll yield to the general on that information. General.
Austin Drummond was convicted in Madison County several years ago for an aggravated robbery. He was sentenced to the Tennessee Department of Corrections, and he was housed at Northwest Correctional, which is in Tiptonville, Lake County. He completed that sentence. So it's what we call flattening the sentence. So he doesn't actually come out on parole or probation. He's just released because he's done all of his time in prison. While he was in prison, he received other charges. We actually took him to grand jury in Lake County because since it occurred at the prison, then it was in our jurisdiction. He had some drug charges that we indicted him for, and then shortly after that, he actually was charged and indicted in Lake County for attempted murder, attempted first-degree murder, which took place inside the prison. Because he completed his sentence, then that was just like any other sentence that a person on the street would have committed. So what happened is once he was released from the Department of Corrections, the Lake County Sheriff's Department picked him up, brought him, and he made bond.
Okay, so he was arraigned.
On bond on those charges.
He was picked up for those charges. We didn't hear it, but he was arraigned. He posted bond. So he was out on bond and apparently, allegedly, murdered 4 people.
When we think that this was allegedly committed.
Which of these pictures is the most accurate of him currently?
My understanding is the one with facial hair.
Yes.
That's the most accurate picture of him right now. And yeah, it's still playing. We just
sort of protect that might have been caught.
Well, they're always going to be, just as we advise the public to be careful, be vigilant, watching their surroundings. But as far as any orders, it would be from a court or anything like that. There's no orders like that.
I didn't hear the question.
Real quick.
Was this drug related at all?
That's part of the investigation. Could answer, but I don't think he's going to be able to give you any information because it's part of the ongoing investigation.
The question was this drug related at all? I can't give you that information. By the way, sometimes, guys, sometimes they give answers by not giving answers. I was on the phone just this very day, and I'm not going to give any details because it was off the record, but I was on the phone this very day with an investigator asking a question about a certain event. And that investigator told me, when I asked the question, that investigator told me, I can't tell you the answer to that, but I mean, what are the possibilities? I go, okay, yeah, I got it. So that happens from time to time too. And I think that's what just happened here. It does seem drug related.
Anything else?
All right.
Do you have anything else you would like to say?
No, we're good. Thank you for your assistance with getting this information out. And we will certainly, as information comes in for us to be able to make further comments, we'll reach out and make sure you're all made aware as we move forward.
And I think that is the end of it, or it's pretty close anyway. Yeah. Well, there's a minute 35 left. Let's see if they do anything. No, they're just walking out. Oh my goodness. A clear picture. Pretty much a clear picture right there. Oh, now it's gone. Yeah, so that is the press conference. Let's just do a quick wrap up here, right? They don't know the timeline, or they did not release the timeline of were the victims killed first and then the baby dropped off, or they didn't release any of that timeline information. They believe that he's still in Jackson, Tennessee. They did not release whether he is on foot, whether he is on or has some sort of transportation. And they're asking the public to be vigilant. They're asking the public to reach out with any tips. I would say that if you were in Jackson or anywhere there in northwestern Tennessee, or let's just say western Tennessee, you're going to want to be very vigilant. Very, very vigilant. It does seem that he targeted these folks. He's not just out committing homicide willy-nilly. Willy-nilly homicide sounds kind of like a band name, doesn't it? Or at least an album name, Willy-nilly homicide. It does appear that he targeted these folks. They were of some sort of relation. Now, speaking of that, come with me, if you will, over to ye ol' Facebook. And this is a screen grab that Kendra Hayes Pearson took. And this is from a person named Briar Ashley Childress. This gives us a little information about what the relationships are. I do have to say, as an amateur genealogist, I have a real hard time in the modern era. Really tough. But let's see if we can figure this out. Okay. It says, for everyone that's coming to my page from older comments made on the suspect's profile, I'll clarify this one time and one time only. This is a comment I will be copying and pasting, so it may answer more than you've asked or may not answer everything you've asked, but I don't want any confusion here. After this, I won't be replying to any of this as we're trying to process, grieve, and be with family. Courtney Rose, my husband, and Caitlin Speed are siblings. So Briar is a sister-in-law to Courtney, also to Caitlin Speed. Adriana and Braden are our niece and nephew. Adriana is photoed here in the middle. She is the mother of the baby that was abandoned and the daughter of Courtney Rose. Braden is her 15-year-old brother, the son of Courtney Rose, the nephew of Ms. Briar Ashley Childress. Okay. Austin Drummond was Caitlin's boyfriend at one time. Okay. So, I'm on the wrong, sorry. Austin Drummond was Caitlin's boyfriend at one time. So what they're saying is Courtney Rose's sister dated Austin Drummond. She goes on to say, yes, he was close to our family. Yes, we cared about him and thought he cared about us. He has literally been nothing short of amazing to us and our kids every time he has been around us up until this point. Okay. I don't want to cast aspersions. I don't want to call into question anything that she said. It could be that he was just terrific, amazing, as she says. But also he's a convicted felon. Okay. Like, also there's that. And maybe I'm just super judgy. Maybe it's bleeding over from last night's members only video. Maybe I'm just being super judgy. But there are a small minority of people in this world who have so many interactions with police that I just don't understand. My limited interaction with police is I'm friends with some policemen. I've been pulled over from speeding occasionally, or for speeding occasionally, but no, I've never been handcuffed. I've never been put in the back of a cruiser. I've never stood before a judge. I've never been arraigned. I've never had a preliminary hearing or a pre-sentencing hearing. And most people are like that. There is a group of people that are just a fraction of society, very small fragment. According to a study that I saw out of Australia about 3 months ago, it's about 1.5% of society has tons of interactions with law enforcement. And so I'm sure that they feel like, oh, well, yeah, he's a felon. So is my husband. So are 3 of my kids. So is my grandpappy. Like maybe they just don't understand. But listen, the rest of us were like, what are you doing with a violent felon hanging around your children? That's the way, and I'm sorry to be super judgy. It's just the way that I'm feeling right now. But anyway, let's keep going. Up until this point, he was amazing to the kids. He has been amazing to our niece, Caitlin's daughter. Okay, which we don't know a name there. Somebody else. We never expected him to cause any harm to anyone, much less anyone in our family. We are heartbroken. We are confused. We are devastated. We are mortified. We are hurting. Our kids are hurting. If you think for 1 second that people only get hurt by strangers, look up 90% of murder cases. Let's see. A lot of times it's by someone close to them that at one point or one time showed love and support to them. Sometimes it's even their own spouse, many times. So please think before you comment something ugly. Yes, we thought we knew him. Caitlin thought she knew him. Courtney. This is Courtney. Adriana. No, this one says Matthew. His name is Matthew. Oh my goodness. It's really funny how reporting kind of changes things. So Courtney, Adriana, Matthew, Braden thought they knew him. We all trusted him. We want justice for my sister-in-law, niece, nephew, and niece's boyfriend more than any one of you that had ever even met our loved ones. Thank you. That does. I mean, I believe her. I believe everything that she says, and I think that she's hurting. But you really just need to be very careful about the people that you bring into your life. And there were red flags with Mr. Drummond. Now, I'm not blaming the victims. I'm just like, this is a cautionary tale for the rest of us. We want to learn here, right? So we are trying to learn. Yeah, I mean, I had a first cousin. He's passed away now. And I've got so many happy memories of childhood with him. So many happy memories. I mean, we were about 2 years apart, but you know, we'd get all the boys together to play football or shoot hoops or you know, play a little over the line or something like that. We were always together. But there came a time in his life where he just turned into a criminal. He just did. And from that point on, I mean, yeah, I still loved him. Yeah, I even wanted to see him. My dad, because my dad is a freaking embodiment of the Beatitudes, would go and visit him in prison. My dad is amazing that way. If he was going out, I mean, my parents lived 700 miles away from where he was imprisoned. If my dad was going that direction, he was stopping in, right? Yes, when he got out, we wanted to see him. We wanted to spend time with him, but it was never with my family around, ever. And I love the guy. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just being the judge. I don't know. Let's go over to your comments here, guys. Thank you so much for your awesome comments. Thanks for the mods that have kept it. Who I don't even think you guys need them anymore. They're so amazing, but every once in a while somebody tries to ruin it. Let's see. Don't dox me. Gavin, it looks like only Action 5 News is covering this. Yeah, that was really tough. Sandra says, I think the grandma's sister is involved. The grandma's sister. The grandmother of the little baby, right? So grandma would be Courtney. The sister that we just read about was Caitlin. What is it? Caitlin Speed, right? Yeah, there was some involvement there. And I'm sure that you did that comment long before we went over that. Let me refresh my system here real quick. We'll look at. It's unsettling to me that he was able to make bond on an attempted murder charge. Someone else, parents maybe, had to have posted that bond. You're probably right. Yeah. Wonder what that bond was on attempted murder. That's tough. Yes, Autumn, I did hear about the drowning. Real happy. Thank you for covering this, Gavin. Haven't seen anyone I watch cover it today. My pleasure. I will. Hey, listen. My team, my researchers, my mods, everybody on Slack were like, 2 days ago, Gavin, you got to cover this. But I had a couple things scheduled out, including having Elizabeth on and having Taya on. So I wasn't able to get to it. And someday we're going to be able to do more than just one evening time stream. But I'm grateful to them for getting me the information. Meredith says, what was their manner of death? They would not say in the press release or in the press conference. They did not say. Jen L says Nick Barris, NC5, has a lot of info on this, both his Facebook page and elsewhere. Yeah, please do. Either way, forward it to me, post it in the tank. Anytime you guys want to get in touch with me, the best way to do that is on my website. There's a little thing right here, a little, what is that, an envelope? Click on that. That will open a little form. I get everything. I respond to very little of it, but I get it all. So yeah, reach out to me that way. I really don't want to glorify this guy, but it's a manhunt, so we're going to show his picture. All right, let's see. What state is he believed to be in currently? They believe he is in Jackson, Tennessee. Jackson, Tennessee, once again, is Western Tennessee, right? So when we zoom out to the states, this is the great state of Tennessee right here. And Jackson is right where the pin is on the western side of Tennessee. That's where they believe he is. The last time they saw him, he was on MCO Road, which goes from here close to Highway 40. It's a tangent, but I'm really fascinated with the U.S. highways. 40 goes east-west, and then dead ends up where it intersects with East University Parkway. So he was last seen somewhere on the road where you guys see my mouse. Let's bring this picture up again. Susan says, I'm not being super judgy. Venture to say that's how we all feel. A lot of us do. I hope so. I've mentioned this book before, but there is a terrific book called Bridges Out of Poverty. Okay. Now, not all criminals are poor. Not all poor are criminals. There are criminals from every socioeconomic class in our society. But the greatest portion of criminals come from the lower socioeconomic classes. I hate to use the word class because there are a lot of people with tons of class that are poor. A lot of people that are classless that are rich. But you guys know what I'm saying, right? Okay. The great American dream is, Thomas Jefferson wrote, everybody has a God-given right. We're endowed by our Creator for the pursuit of, the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? So the great American dream is to improve your economic station. One of the things that gets in our way, I would say that I am in the exact same economic class that I was born into. It's very difficult for me to go up. It's also very difficult for me to go down. Even if I'm broke, I'm hardly ever poor. Any class is that way, right? So the great dream is to move upward from poverty into the middle class, from middle class into the upper middle class, to the upper class, and so forth. That is the great American dream, right? Okay, the major thing that blocks us from going from one social class or economic class to a higher class is that we don't understand the unwritten rules of that next class. And so we're frequently breaking them. There is, and I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but we've got a class of people who are poor and who are criminally minded. not saying that all poor are criminally minded. I'm saying that there is a subclass within the poor that are criminally minded. And they harm the other people closest to them in that class. And so if you are poor, you should be striving to get up to the next class, because that will keep you safer. But anyway, read Bridges Out of Poverty. It's a workbook. It's a how-to. You fill it out. It's actually written for social workers, but I love the book. I highly recommend it. I read it, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, and it changed my life. So check it out, and I will stop my diatribe on that. Let's see. Deanna says Matthew is his middle name, which he goes by. Right, yeah. It just, some people reported Michael for some reason, and I went, oh, I had Matthew. I guess I was wrong. Maybe it's Michael, but no, it's Matthew. Okay, thank you for that, Deanna. Sarah says, so glad I caught you live finally. Yeah, been watching you for a while now. Well, I'm glad. Thank you very much. Cindy from sunny South Florida. I mean, there's really no question as to where you're from there, Cindy. Gavin, not sorry for judging him after seeing how he lived in prison for years like a first-class hotel. Dude is bad news. Yeah. I will check out Nick Barris. Thank you very much for pointing me that way. That's funny. Probably has plenty of cash from his prison store. Bond was $30K. So it was, well, what was bail? Was it like $300K and he had to come up with $30K? Or was it $30K and he only had to come up with $3K? Which outweighs the jail cell? Which outweighs the jail cell or the amazing guy? Yeah, it's the cell. Faux show. Couple more before we call it a night. JoJo's Crime Lines and Mysteries. Gavin, fun, useless fact. All the U.S. highways, all interstates that are even go east-west, and all odd go north-south. Mile markers equal going up north or east, going down south or west. Indeed. In fact, if you go to my my channel, you will find a video. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. There's Cluvelta. It's not in the Cluvelta videos. There we go. Yes, this one right here. This video right here that says Hidden Impact, the invention that accidentally created the modern serial killer. It's my contention that it is the U.S. highway that created the modern serial killer, and I talk about the highways in that video. Thank you very much. Let's go here. A couple more. Ooh, Cindy says, I'm a retired social worker and we used Bridges Out of Poverty to help fund or understand social economics. To help understand social. Okay, it's a real eye opener for sure. Yeah, I'm glad somebody else has read it. It's amazing, and I think I've caught up on all the comments there, guys, that you wanted me to look at. Okay, so be on the lookout, especially if you're in Tennessee, especially if you're in Western Tennessee, especially if you were in Jackson. Be on the lookout for Austin Robert Drummond, 28 years old. Bad news. He may shave his face. He may try to change his appearance. He's bad news. If you spot him or think you did, call 911 or call the TBI. Okay. One more quick plug, guys. If you haven't visited my website, you should. I've got the swag store open. Got lots of cool stuff in there. Ooh, that reminds me. I've got a couple volunteers I need to reach out to. I'll do that this weekend. Some designers that are saying, hey, help me. Let me help you design some stuff. So we got some swag there. Personally, I think my favorite stuff is probably the Dill Hole stuff. I don't know. I'm just partial to the dill hole. I like it. Play the treasure hunt. Find baby Gavin. Have a good time while doing it. That was really fun to put together. I am already coming up with next year's game. I'll just leave it at that. And then if you're on Facebook, click on this little link that will take you over to the fish tank where we hang out on Facebook. You are always invited. Open invitation. With that, guys, I will be back on Monday. Monday is the day that I will be back, and the day I will be back is Monday. Until then, take care of yourselves. Look out for each other. I bid you adieu, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.